Hello, everyone. I think a lot of people are still jumping on, but while they do, I just wanted to welcome everybody and thanks for taking time out of your Wednesday evening. I don't know about you all, but it definitely feels like one of the busier weeks of this year. Or maybe I'm just not used to having sports activities again, but it's been really great to see the kids out on the fields and interacting with each other. Um, the first thing on my agenda is to congratulate our administration for keeping us going. I cannot believe we've made it this far. When we started in September, I think we were all skeptical as to whether we would even make it to October. So thank you for keeping us going. Much appreciated. There's a lot of sacrifices on your part. And here we are on the other end, and I'm thrilled. So thank you. Um, and with that, I would like to introduce Dr. Montesano, our superintendent. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily, and thank you for those comments. They're very much appreciated, and as you know, this couldn't be accomplished without the work of many, and by the entire staff, teachers, maintenance, custodians, everybody kind of chipped in and did their part to get us to where we are. I know it's been a difficult year for many people, and people are exhausted, from it. But we appreciate the acknowledgement that is provided by you and the entire PTA on a monthly basis now, which has been really, really terrific. Also, are so fortunate to have the support of the foundation and the community behind us. It allows us to do certain things that perhaps other places can't do. So it's really an entire community effort that has allowed us to get where we are. It's hard to believe that we have just a little over a month of school left. We kind of made it through, holding our breath, and we're actually there. But as far as my update, just a very quick kind of brief one on the COVID front. Knock on wood, that we've been seeing very healthy trends to the point where I'm not aware of any positive COVID cases that have touched our school in the last maybe 3 weeks, which has been terrific. We have over 80%, I believe, of our staff members who have received vaccines, which is, I'm sure, helping all of this. We have a number of students who are now starting to get vaccinated as well. There's some pop-up vaccination sites that have gone on. There was one today over at Pelham High School for students 16 and older. I believe Ann Meyer had sent that out to parents if they were interested in doing that. We now know that the vaccines have been approved, will be approved for students 12 or kids 12 and over. So, these are all positive events and all helping us get back to some sense of normalcy, I suppose. Although I'm not sure we'll ever get totally back. Perhaps there's some good things that came out of this as well that we'll be looking at moving forward. Our end of the year activities, they're fast and furious and many. I think we're trying to cram everything the kids missed over the year in about 2 months or so. But we're trying to make the end of the year as close to normal as possible for our kids and our parents. We have the 5th grade, 8th grade, and 12th grade graduations that we know will be in person. Right now, we know that at least a student and 2 parents will be invited in person. There's some sense that maybe the outside venue could expand their capacity, and so we'll certainly adjust accordingly. We have the high school play coming up that's going to be outside, the musical, which is kind of fun. The elementary school is also doing a play outside. So we're taking good use of that space. So we have a lot of fun, normal events planned for the end of the year. Quick reminder, we do have our Board of Ed vote and budget vote coming up on May 18th. I would encourage you all to check out the budget. We certainly would love any support you could give us on that front. This year on the Board of Election front, we do have a contested election with 2 people running for each of the seats. So please check out the bios of all the candidates to make sure you make a wise choice. And finally, Memorial Day is coming up, and we do plan on having a traditional Memorial Day celebration on the front lawn of our school on Pontfield. The band will be playing. The veterans will be there to be honored. We have scouts coming as well to do the wreath laying, etc. And the chorus is actually going to be joining the band this year to sing. So that's going to be a kind of a nice thing out front. I think the veterans will appreciate that. We're not going to have the entire student body out there just because of space restrictions, but we'll have a pretty good representative sample, and we'll also be live streaming it to classrooms as well as anybody at home who would like to see the ceremony. So it's just one other important event that we have coming up that we can't wait to do in somewhat normal capacity. So with that, if there's anybody has a question, I'll be happy to answer them. If not, I'll stay on for as long as I need to.
I think we're good. Thank you so much. It's nice
My
to
pleasure.
hear so much positivity coming from you. Thank you. Caroline Dimitri has put together an awesome slate for next year. I'm going to let her speak and announce it. And I just have to give her major credit for all the work that she's done this year. She's such a pleasure, and she's so much fun and so creative. So next year is going to be just the best. So Caroline.
Well, that's very nice, Emily. I want to say a huge thank you to you. We couldn't have been any luckier having you for a council chair. Your multi-generational knowledge of our town and school has been invaluable. So thank you. I have big shoes to fill. And Tom as well. I look forward to working with you. We had a great year, and it was all due to your leadership and efforts. So thank you. So I will read the lucky people who are going to be working with me next year. And we're going to start with my vice chair, Deirdre Doheny, secretary, Joyce Barnes, treasurer, Lindy Devereaux, 8th grade chairs, Jenny Jacobs, and Emily Liggett is not going far. She's going to be helping with that as well. Susan Fraze. 7th grade chairs will be Lisa Rao, Kirsty Ricci, Heather Miner, Wendy Fahey. 6th grade chairs, Emily Price, Beth Larkin, Megan Paisley. Teen Center, Nora Nazaro, Wendy Fahey, and Laura Busker. Modified Sports, Sarah Kenny is sticking with me, which is great. Character and Community, Denise Mulvihill, Carolyn Matson, back again. So thankful. And Michelle Antonini. Carolyn Matson's going to be handling Basque as well. Hospitality, Amy Krause, Katie McGrath, and Grace Gilmer. New Families, Carly Patterson, Susan Fraze, Lisa Rao. School Tours, Megan McSherry. Technology, Philippa Freeman. Picture Day, Susie Fragone. Apparel Liaison is Mariana Mingo and Sarah Polkinen. Safety Liaison is Laura Busker. Art Liaison is Justine McInerney and Lana Phillips. Band and Orchestra is Elena Bright. Chorus is Kelly Feza. Bold is Michelle Spillane, and Yearbook is Cassie Kaplan and Jen Oliveri. So if we could all give a round of applause. I'm so thankful to all of them for volunteering. And I will hand it off to Mariana Mingo, who I think is going to be discussing an update on Memorial Day. See you all there.
Good evening, everybody. Having some difficulties here. There we go. So we're trying to bring back Memorial Day festivities. We can have all the fun events, but we have some. We're gonna have the apparel sale for the new families here. The apparel sale happens twice a year.
I think Mariana's having technical difficulties, but luckily Leah is working closely with her on Memorial Day and can plug in. Thank you, Leah.
No problem. So to finish off what Mariana was saying, so we're gonna have our traditional apparel sale, and we're gonna have a live. Oh, go ahead, Mariana. Are you back? I don't think she is. So we're going to have a live apparel sale as well as an online apparel sale. The live sale will be the week of May 25th through the 28th. And at the same time, we're going to have our traditional dollar raffle for the elementary school and lower middle school grades. So kids will have the chance to buy their dollar raffles and put them in the little bowls and hopefully get a chance to buy some of the great items that I'm sure Mariana has already received. Mariana, I'm guessing you probably want to ask people for donations as well. Just give me a thumbs up if that's.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm having some issues. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. So usually for the new families, I don't know what you heard of what I said before, but I kept talking without realizing that I was frozen. So I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. The dollar raffle usually targets elementary school kids, but we are trying to have some fun items for middle schoolers as well. Since, you know, the new kids in 6th grade were not able to experience the dollar raffle last year. So we're gonna have some cool items there, again, in person, and they are gonna be right next to the apparel sale at the corner of Pondfield and Meadow. Leah, I don't know if you said anything about the in-person sale for the apparel.
I did. I said it was, it's going to be the week of the 25th through the 28th.
Right. It starts on Tuesday. Both events, dollar raffle and the apparel sale, go from Tuesday through Friday. And for the online sale, that is going to happen from the 20th and to the 22nd of May. It's just 3 days of sale. If you do the math right, you're gonna see that it's 2 days because it's 48 hours, but it sounds better if you say 3 days. And that's pretty much it. This week, we are gonna send out the Sign Up Genius for looking for volunteers for dollar raffle and apparel. So I know we haven't been able to volunteer that much in person. So if you are able to join us, that would be great. And we're still looking for some items for the dollar raffle. So if you get the email and you click on the link and sign up for an item, will be great. Thank you.
And I just want to add on, the other really exciting event that we're having for Memorial Day this year is our 1 square mile of food trucks and fun, which is going to be on May 22nd between 5 and 8 p.m. We're really excited. It's just about a sold out event, and we're really excited to have this year. We're hoping that it brings a lot of people out into their own neighborhoods to gather outside and have a lot of fun together. So you'll get more information as the event approaches, with all the details of what food trucks will be there and how you will get your food and when to pick up your tickets if you've purchased tickets for the food trucks. The other 2 things I want to mention are the Memorial Day time capsule project. We sent out an email yesterday to ask for more submissions, but this time we're looking for submissions of written work or artwork or photographs. We have a really great selection already of physical items like masks and just all sorts of great things we've already collected. And so now we're kind of going to phase 2. How do we collect how people felt, what people did, and you know, what people saw during this last year and a half. So if you have anything to submit, please check out the email and send your submissions. We're having the submissions will be collected until the 28th of May, and then we're going to put the time capsule together to hopefully dedicate it to the administration before the end of the school year. And then lastly, all of this Memorial Day festivities has raised funds so that we can donate Memorial Day benches that will be put around the campus at all the entrances to the school. That will be a dedication for all the hard work and effort that everyone has put into making this year such a success. So again, thank you to everyone involved. And that's about it. Oh, one more thing. While I have everyone's attention, the other event that's a not to miss event is a Bold book talk, which is on next Wednesday night, May 19th. Neve Merluccio has the book up. It's Dr. Ned Hallowell, and the book is ADH 2.0. It's a real catch that we got him to come to our school. It's going to be a Zoom event, and it should be fantastic. So registration is open. I think I sent an email today about that as well. So please register. We look forward to seeing everyone. Thanks.
Thanks so much, ladies. I'm going to hand over the screen to a super talented, wonderful, exceptional group of 8th graders. Thank you for agreeing to speak with us tonight. They are Danny Kelty, Campbell Malloy, Matthew Present, and Liberty Wilson, and they are going to present on their open letter to middle school parents. Thanks so much, guys.
I'm sorry, Matt, you can start. Miss Liggett did the introduction for us, so I won't read the first slide. And unmute yourself, everybody.
Middle school is more than academics. It is important to understand that middle school is serious, but it's not high school. I remember first entering middle school a couple of years ago and being like, wow, elementary school was fun, but now it's time to get down to business. I thought that starting now, I'd get all A's or I wouldn't get into the college that I wanted to get into. I soon learned that middle school is more for trying new things and not so much getting absolutely perfect grades. It is meant to be more of a trial period to find out what you like to do and how you can accomplish things in the most efficient way. And while some things may take an unexpected turn, it's okay.
School is not about our grades. This is a time to prepare for high school, so we treat this like a practice run to ready ourselves for high school. We will make mistakes, but we will learn from them with your help. When I need help, sometimes I go to my mom for extra support. She helps me when I'm struggling, and we are learning the skills I need for life together. She supports me and she sets me up to succeed in high school and beyond.
Success. For many students, the transition from elementary school into 6th grade may seem easier than their expectations at first. However, as you progress further into middle school and
Did we lose you, Danny? Oh, we did. Liberty, would you read the rest of his slide?
Yeah, sure. So looking back on my own experiences, I would have loved to develop the good studying and testing skills in my late year of elementary school and early years of middle school. And because you help us prepare to jump into high school in 8th grade, you help us better understand like the difficulty and stay on top of content, and you help us develop healthy studying skills at the same time.
Social interactions need to be practiced. Going to extra help helps your teachers realize that you are really making an effort in their class and that you really want to stay on top of the work that they are giving you. It is extremely important to have healthy relationships with your friends and teachers. When friendships end, it isn't the end of the world, and we will be okay. Next slide, please. Social interactions are messy too. Friendships in middle school can be really messy at times, and we will need you to help us realize that maybe your relationship isn't healthy. Trying new things is a crucial part in middle school since we are just figuring ourselves out. We need to learn commitment. Please don't let us quit doing a sport in the middle of a season or stop doing an extracurricular activity because we don't enjoy it anymore. But when it is over, then let us stop if we really aren't enjoying it anymore so we can try something new.
We have to move a lot and we need to sleep a lot too. It is important to get out and about. We need to practice not only being social, but being active and doing what we love. Just in case we don't exactly know what we want to do, the school provides many opportunities like clubs and sports teams for us to find activities that we really enjoy. Even if we prefer not to participate in team sports, it is important to maintain an active and out and about lifestyle to avoid depression or feeling negative about ourselves. And not only is it critical to be active, but it's absolutely key to get as much rest as possible. I remember studying for math tests fairly late into the night, but then I realized that the best thing that I could do was not to keep studying, but to get some rest because our brains do a lot of learning while we're asleep. I also sometimes take too long on homework and might work harder than is necessary. When I submit my homework, I constantly second guess myself and I'm like, is this really my best work? Maybe I should look it over just one last time. But I realize it's important to put limits on homework.
Give us friendly advice and reminders. We are growing up and need help, especially in remembering trivial things. So I personally use a family calendar just so we're all on the same page about what we're doing on any given day. This stops the nagging and reminding a million times to do things. My mom just tells me to check the calendar because we do need your help, even if it's hard to admit it. And a calendars can be very helpful when we have a lot on our plate.
Be supportive. We need you. Even though we are figuring things out for ourselves, we still need you to guide us and support the decisions we make. When we make mistakes, we are going to need people who will help us see ways to resolve issues and also help us and let us know that everything is going to be okay. We won't always do everything perfectly, and when we hear stories about how you were in the same situation and you did everything right, it doesn't really help us solve our problems and it often makes us feel worse.
Matt?
All right, had to unmute. Okay. This time is about testing things and being safe too. Middle school is a time for us to find out more about ourselves. We are still testing out new looks and new interests. We're also trying out new friendships too. So even if it looks like we are friends with someone that you wouldn't have guessed we'd hang out with, it is important to give us some space as we learn more about ourselves and who we get along with. The best way to give us some space and allow us to discover new things is to maintain a safe environment at home where we will always feel safe. It is also important to support our decisions as long as they're clearly safe. I personally know how it feels to have my home be a safe place where I'm allowed to be myself and not have to worry about acting exactly as my parents expect. I know that I can be myself at home, and it really makes a difference to be able to try new things and not have to hide it from my parents.
Social media, a whole new world. Parents, although our phones have huge perks such as checking in with friends and keeping our relationships going, they can be extremely distracting to us, even to the point where it interferes with schoolwork and getting enough sleep each night. We are only kids. It would be helpful to be reminded every once in a while of the consequences and cautions of certain social media apps. A post can be deleted, but a screenshot might never go away. Any post or comment that you make online has your name attached to it, and it will most likely come back to you somehow because you really own all of our devices. So just try and keep tabs on what we post and say online.
Learning who we are. We are figuring ourselves out, so please be patient and supportive as we are learning about ourselves too. We have no idea what direction we want to go in life yet, but we are still the same old kids, and we still love you no matter how we identify. That's why we can figure out where we fit in this world together, even if we fit differently than you. So please don't give up on us.
In conclusion, parents, please try and help us by supporting us, please. Seriously, middle school is not as easy as it seems. We always need your support. Be there for us. We might not always show it, but we always need you. We need your advice, and we also need space to think about everything too. Really, we do need your help, but at the same time, the last thing we need is someone up in our business 24/7. Even when we don't follow your advice, we are still listening, so don't ever stop talking to us. We are works in progress. We are going to make lots of mistakes, and we need to do this to grow. Please try not to take control of our lives at a time when we are trying to be independent for the first time. Please, parents, we have so much more of our lives to live. Please let us figure out who we are as people before making decisions for us. And never forget, we love you always and no matter what.
Thank you, everybody. That was very, very lovely. We appreciate you taking the time to do that. Folks, are there any questions for our 8th graders about anything that you heard in their open letter? They would be happy to take your questions if you'd like to ask them directly or put them in the chat. It's up to you.
This is Jill Bethay. I'm curious, was that spontaneous outpouring? Was this part of a class project, or what led to that beautiful letter? And thank you so much to all of you.
It was an outgrowth of the Social Issues Awareness Club in the high school, and the work they did with us recently in evidencing how 6th graders are actually using social media. And we had such a great experience with the parents in a similar situation to this meeting, that Emily and I had discussed maybe having some students present tonight. So I asked these 4 students if they would be willing to write to the parents. And it was fairly spontaneous, though. They got together in the room, and you guys want to talk about the process at all? It was really quick.
Yeah, I can talk about it a little bit. So on Monday, I got called to the office, and then I saw these 3 other students there, and we were told that we had to put together a presentation for the parents on Wednesday night. So I was kind of taken by surprise, but it turned out to be a great presentation. So we kind of just brainstormed like ideas that might help out parents who have middle school kids, and like ways that they could support us throughout the years in middle school.
And this was completely by surprise. Like when I was called to the middle school office, I thought I was in trouble or something. And they were like, no, you're a great student. I was like, oh, okay, thank God.
Yeah, me too. As soon as I saw there were like other people there, and he was like, go into the conference room, we'll be with you in a moment. I thought we were going to be in a lot of trouble for some reason, but turned out definitely not to be that.
What a relief. Are there other questions?
Hey, I put a question in the chat. This is Natasha. Thank you to the middle schoolers. I thought that was amazing. Can you hear me, Tom?
I can.
How would the middle schoolers change this per grade? Is it different for all the 3 different grades across middle school, or do you think it's pretty much consistent for all 3 grades?
Well, I purposefully chose 8th graders because they are the experts. They were really writing from their experiences across grades. Part of the mission that I gave them was to write to parents in grades 6 and 7 and 5. Tell parents who are going to be experiencing what you have just accomplished, what life is really like for you guys. Absolutely, we hope 8th grade parents get a lot out of that too, but this was really for perspective and younger students, parents of students in middle school. Anything else? Well, with that, I just want to say again, a big thank you to Matthew Prezant, Campbell Malloy, Liberty Wilson, and Danny Kelty. Thank you for being here tonight and for representing your class so very well. And now you can log off and do whatever it is you do.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
With that, Emily, I'll just give a brief report about middle school and happenings, and we'll start with Field Day, which is slated for the 28th. It happens historically just after our Memorial Day service outside, and we're going to continue with that practice. The PE department has run the Field Day very successfully in the high school, and just like most things, we watch the high school very carefully for instructions and how to do things well, and we think that we can run a very successful hybrid Field Day. So some things will be outside, some things will be in classrooms, and students will rotate what they're doing by grade level. The big draw this year will be that our lunch is going to be provided outside by food truck. We have 4 food trucks coming: an ice cream truck, a taco truck, a hamburger truck, and a Walter's hot dog truck. So there are some non-meat options out on in the trucks. They will the students will rotate to that area and eat lunch in the moment that that they have during the Field Day. I want to say a word about the Field Day, though, as it relates to students coming and going in classes. We ran a special event for students yesterday, and we were really surprised at the number of kids who were pulled out of school during that time. It was very hard for us to run the day and have to get so many students who were pulled early. It was extraordinarily disruptive to what we were trying to accomplish. And our plea to you is, if your student is going to be here for Field Day, please let them be here for the whole day. It does really matter that they see things through, and we appreciate your help with that, because it's going to be very difficult to track individual students down to leave early on Field Day because they are coming and going and moving and walking and eating in groups, and they're not necessarily by a phone. So your help with that would be greatly appreciated. And if it just doesn't work out for your family to be here, we understand that. But if your child comes to school, let them stay for Field Day. It would be very helpful to us. The next meeting that we're going to hold for parents is going to focus on preparation for studying. How do you study for final exams or quarterly exams or cumulative tests, depending on what grade level we're talking about? We have a small group of teachers who are working together to prepare a Q&A and a how to support kids as they study on different grade levels for different kinds of tests. That'll be the event will be announced in Friday's bulletin, and it will be an evening Zoom like this, but we think that you might find that very beneficial. On the heels of that meeting, there will be our second math 6 into 7, math 7 into 8 meeting. Our second math meeting about math 8 and algebra will take place just after the test preparation meeting. And at that meeting, we are scheduled to have Mr. Mitchell and Miss Oliveri take us through in a little bit more detail what math 8 looks like and what algebra 1 looks like, and what kinds of readiness skills and what kinds of ideas need to be mastered in order to be prepared to participate in algebra 1. And we're looking forward to that. And then we will have one more meeting about the math program after that, where we will roll out the summer work and discuss signing up if folks want to do that, and not in the meeting, but after the meeting. And at that point, we feel that folks should have a pretty good idea and understanding of what the choices are, what the selection criteria should be. And the good news is you really can't make a bad decision. They're both very strong courses, and it's really a matter of making a choice of best fit. Please do remember that the class that your child is in presently is not a prescriptive way to make a decision about that. You really have to decide and determine as a family what makes sense for your child at this developmental moment. The end of year calendar of academic events has already been posted to you. It will be put in the bulletin again on Friday. There are no major changes to the offerings, with the one exception that 7th grade English will not have a final exam now, but they will have a project instead as their cumulative assessment. And with the exception of that, the rest of the calendar remains the same. 6th grade is in school each day during the last week of school for half day. They are going to be working on cumulative assessments for quarter 4 in those pockets of time. And we think that that event will help them to prepare for and get used to the idea of studying for these types of inventories. So we're pretty confident that that will be helpful. And again, when we have our parent meeting and talking about studying, we'll be reiterating and reviewing things that obviously teachers are doing with students in school to prepare all the time. I was speaking to a colleague this morning who said that he was talking to his kids yesterday, and he said, you know, this has been the hardest year of school since there's been school. And the kids agreed with that, but they also feel very strongly that they feel a sense of accomplishment. They feel that they've done something that really very few kids in their social circles outside of Bronxville have had the ability to do, which is to come to school every day. And our work with the students remains our biggest honor and our greatest gift. And I just need to take a moment to say that in addition to my incredible staff, I also owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to you, our parent body, especially to Emily and Caroline for their faltering support at every turn. Every time I pick up the phone and say, hey, we'd like to do, that's great, do it, perfect, we'll do it, absolutely, we're in, we'll help. It's been an amazing year, very difficult on some levels, but it has been a year that has had a tremendous outpouring of support and thanks and great gratitude. And I hope you feel that in both directions, because speaking for our staff, we absolutely have felt throughout the year that we are very well cared for in this community, and we thank you. But I hope on behalf of the staff that you feel it in the reverse as well. We are looking forward to hopefully being able to do some things next year that will seem a little bit more normal. Obviously, we have to wait and see what the market will bear in terms of where we will go. But it should in some ways feel a little bit more like what we're used to, and we're looking forward to that. A word about our commencement, our moving up ceremony. If you have an 8th grade student and you haven't yet submitted the naming convention that you would like used on the diploma, please send that in, because we can't run them until we have every single one of them. So if you have, if you haven't done that yet, that would be great. We do think we know now what the parameters and limits will be for running our moving up ceremony. We are very pleased to say that it looks like we'll be able to run a real ceremony in real time in person. However, there will be a limit of 2 visitors, 2 guests per student moving up or graduating. We're going to be very staunch about that, and those dyads will have names on them, and so seating is reserved. We want to make sure that we are operating within appropriate limits, and it will be live streamed at the same time. It will be filmed and recorded as well, but we can only accommodate two guests per student in person. We do anticipate that we'll be using the front lawn for this purpose. Please don't hold me to that, because we have yet to have confirmation about bleachers, and you know, we may have to move it, but it is our understanding that that's what we're hoping to do. So I think that's really about all I have for now. I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has about any and all things middle school.
While you guys are typing questions into the chat, I just would like to point you guys to your agendas. There's a couple meetings coming up. One is for Basque, and there's a few community service opportunities coming up for middle schoolers. Additionally, the yearbook committee is working diligently to get the yearbook put away. They're requesting photos from parents of any sporting events or any candid photos from school events. And if you have an 8th grader, they're looking for throwback 8th grader photos as well. And one more announcement from me and Tom. Many of you know that Mr. Osenego has been out, and he is doing really well. He's super grateful for everyone's support, and he appreciates the privacy that we've given him thus far. But if you would like to send him an email, he loves reading them. And I think, Tom, you said that we can also drop cards off in the office that will be delivered to him.
Yeah, any cards that your children want to write, if they want to bring them to the office, we will batch them, and we will get them to him. He would love that. He's in very good spirits. He's feeling very good, and his family is very happy with his progress, and they are on pins and needles right now because they're expecting their first grandchild in a week, and it's a time of great joy while they are also handling Gene's health issues right now. And I spoke to him yesterday, and he was very sorry not to be here, but he also told me that he is preparing the grades for the class that did not get finished for third quarter. And he'll let me know when those grades have been entered so I can let parents know directly. But he's in super spirits, misses everybody, and wants me to send his best to all of you.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for making time and showing up for the meeting. I appreciate the support. It's going to be a great year next year. You're in great hands between Tom and Caroline and Deirdre. Thank you.